Meeting in order, 6:03.
Mike Moll.
Present.
Leslie Wilcom.
Here.
Casey Yocum. Present. Barbara Thomas. Anthony Campbell. Mary Wiles. Here. Trevor Warren.
Here.
We have a quorum, 4-0.
Please stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anybody want identification?
Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you, Lord, for this day, and we thank you for the freedoms to gather here this evening, Lord. We pray, God, that you lead us and guide us in everything that we do, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
To adopt the agenda with the following amendments. We can. Let's do business license after the citizen request and multi-family water rate increase / sewer increase at the very end. That's one of you guys.
I have a motion to adopt the agenda with all changes.
I'll second. Leslie Wilcom.
Yes.
Casey Yocum. Yes. Mary Wiles. Yes. Trevor Warren.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0.
Next up is ratify the bills. You guys should have gotten an email with any questions. Whenever you guys are ready, got any questions? I'll need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to ratify those. I'll second.
Leslie Wilcom.
Yes.
Casey Yocum. Yes. Mary Wiles.
Yes.
Trevor Warren.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0.
Next up would be approved minutes for November 1st, 2021. If you have any questions, anything needs to be changed on that? That will be a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for November 1st.
I'll second.
Leslie Wilcom.
Yes.
Casey Yocum.
Yes.
Mary Wiles.
Yes.
Trevor Warren.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0.
Next up on our agenda would be, is there a Cheryl Talley here?
Present.
If you want to, you can just state up the address is there if you have an issue with her.
Well, yeah, this is my husband. I have a $659 water bill. Here's,
piece of property in town. And the first bill we got was about $150. I didn't think much about it because that bill only covered like a week and a half, 2 weeks of time. But you don't get your bill immediately as they read the meter. It comes, like a week or two later and you get the bill. And the bill when we lived in town was about $100 a month. Plus you had the hookup fee and everything like that. So $150, I was like, that sounded okay. Didn't think anything about it. We paid that bill. The following month, the bill was $400. And I said, there's got to be a problem. So my wife went up to the water department and said, there's a problem. There should be no $400 bill. They said, well, there must be a leak in your house or in the yard or something. So we had somebody come out and take a look. They said there's no leak in the house and no leak in the yard. The city came out, took a look at it and said, well, it's not on our end, it must be on your end. It goes back and forth like this for a little bit. Then we found out that there was a faulty meter that had been removed from the property because of leaking from the meter. Well, when they replaced the meter, and this is the pipe that was attached to it, they had cut accidentally somehow or another with like a file or whatever when they were taking the meter off and cut a hole in the pipe that leads from the meter towards the house. And it was leaking water out right next to the meter and stuff. So when individuals looked at the property, they could not find where the water was leaking from because it was leaking right there at the meter in that was it like a tube or a tub that's right in there. I can bring this forward if you would like to take a look at it.
But that was after your high bill, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so
No, the meter was changed prior to the high bill.
That meter was changed twice on that house. Once when I first moved in there,
Well, when we first rented it.
when I first rented it. And then,
time period.
Was it when you just moved in this residence now, Sheriff?
on 8/20, actually,
Look right here, this starts being exactly the same. These are four pages.
well, we cut it.
No, it's the factory. That's
So
not-
I should have to pay for something that the city used.
No, I'm just saying that that's not cut. These are factory. This one's the same one. This is a set screw that holds that on the top. That slit right there is a factory slit. I actually, Jody called me and asked me about that, and I told Jody that the problem with what it was, just for you to describe. That right there, see, it's an all. This is a compression ball happening.
Okay.
Wait a minute, why would we cut it there?
No, because the pipe goes all the way through, the rubber gasket is what it says behind.
Okay,
Compression.
well, when they set up the parameter where the meter was when it was the house, that was where all the water was coming out of that spider.
Well, I don't know, I'm just letting you know that is not cut. That is a fact. I have to go grab it out of the truck.
Okay, so the point that I was trying to make though is, if the bill had come as like 100 or 110 for inflation or whatever, since we lived in town, I would have had no problem with it. What I asked the city when I called them was, how do you guys say that we used $400 worth of water in a period of 30 days?
That's probably just toilet leaking or water leaking.
But we had people come out and take a look, and they had found no faults with the house. And this is not me looking at it, we hired like professionals to come out and take a look.
Plus my son-in-law is the one that fixed it.
I don't know that.
Here's the thing, why should I have to pay if it's a faulty pipe? I don't care to pay something, but
But if it's on your side,
that ain't on my side.
then you couldn't have took that off without taking the meter off.
This connected inside the meter somehow.
So which, that one? No, that connects to a pipe that comes off.
When I got there,
You guys are talking about your side, you do realize that, right? It's not the city side, it's your side.
Yeah, we did pick-
The meter is.
but this piece was inside connected to the meter.
Yeah,
So
so
let me ask you-
everybody's working next to the meter.
The meters changed out because it was faulty.
So,
And the meters changed out because it was faulty. And they put a new meter in, and there's water still coming out.
I don't have any record in that history of a meter change out. I mean, if we have to change out a meter, it changes the serial number, the
We
whole
changed your numbers,
bill.
everything, Mr. and Mrs. Tally, so that's why I say, so I don't know where you got the idea that somebody's changed the meter. The actual problem with it was, when we've done research, we actually keep really good notes now, is that the lock was the problem. But if you guys look at your guys' water rates before this, you guys had a leak. I think even Jody admitted that you guys had a leak inside the house. It was never the city's fault, there was never a meter change or anything. Then after we shut that meter off, you did use,
I think it took,
did you
it
move
took
somebody
about
inside the
30
house?
days.
You guys
No,
moved
it's
out?
not.
I think. It took
Moved
about
But
30
they're
days.
supposed to put lots on.
Right, so.
This is what I will say, this is my opinion on it, and she explained this really, really well, but your guys' high bill was the water that went to the meter. It wasn't the city side, it wasn't our side, so you guys are responsible from that meter, the meters here to your house, that's your guys' responsibility, it's not the city's responsibility to fix a leak there. If you have a leak inside that house, that's not our responsibility either. But what I will say, she has all the paperwork to justify it too. Now, the time period, I need for it, the cost before, we give up the time period where there was water there because the meter could not be turned off, it's a lot of work, okay? But I can tell you this, if I listen to your story now, that your son was in there, that's another meter, somebody broke that off.
No, he didn't get on. I must be wrong. He told me that
They
we,
broke the shut. So that makes me, like,
Keep in mind, just for future reference, that even I don't turn off meters myself. That's in my call city.
right, I know the type of thing.
Okay, if you guys make it prepare yourself, you're not supposed to shut meters off yourself.
I did.
You said you had to prepare yourself.
No, the city started off.
That's all, I was just reiterating.
No, I said,
Yeah, I just let you know.
Justin didn't repair.
they turned the water down by,
Okay,
That's
that's
the
all.
city already had it turned off at that time.
they
Okay,
turned it on that weekend and it fixed the repair.
so,
And then they came back to one and shut it off.
That was in October, that was 4 months after the fact.
After the heck of it.
Right.
So just to put this in perspective, so everybody understands here, that
I don't care the case, huh?
the problems afterwards though, were 4 months after your high water bills, that you guys got.
Yeah, well, I didn't have, it was shut off.
The repairs were made 4 months, guys, after you see the problem here.
It is.
Okay, the repairs you guys made were 4 months after your initial
I understand what you're saying.
And in that 4 month period, the water was met, for lack of a better word, magically regular.
No, there has been a lot on it.
So on 7/16 of 2021, the collector has a log that Cheryl came in and asked the meter to be locked out. At that time, she had already gotten the high consumption bill. I think it came, I'll have to check back on her page of when it came. I think it came July 1st. So it was June's consumption, July 1st, I saw the high bill, probably got it middle of the month. Anyway, she called and said, hey, I'm gonna shut off. At that time, the meter's been not locked down because something had been broken on it. I don't know who had broken it, but it took Daniel about 30 days to order parts and shut it off. But from the time you called until they shut it off, there were only 24 units of consumption over a 2-month period for 30 days. It's not a lot of consumption. All of the high consumption came before you called to request a payment. And I can
So,
print out the list for you.
what you're saying is that we're liable for that. But once we ask for the water to shut off, are we liable after that?
That's what I would have to remember this for, is that 24 units. And then-
Right, it's 24 units and 2 minimum bills, so about, I don't know, let's go back and look. The exact amount.
Obviously, guys, I mean, no matter what, but I'll tell you, with that much consumption, that's not a really, there's a toilet running, there's something leaking, there's something inside the house running that, so whether,
We actually had a toilet leak, and it was under the toilet, and it leaked down through, there was an oval toilet. and it
Well,
leaked down
I
through
had,
and leaked into
I
the
had
sewers.
one there.
and me and Trevor are talking about
Okay,
this.
another thing I have to ask, I need water in this house, we can't even work on it. Okay, so I called up here, and I said, if I come in and pay the $650, we're good, right? And she told me, no. Now you have to pay $35 for a late
The
fee,
reconnect fee,
reconnect fee.
because you were shut off.
When I'm the one that originally asked to have it shut off.
But 4 months later, keep in mind, you're leaving some details out of here, Cheryl. The story,
Yeah,
You're
because
telling
it took
the
me months to
story,
get
but
somebody to
we
fix
gotta be
it.
honest here, because you're telling the story, so it sounds better than it really is.
No.
But it's 4 months later after you had a high consumption bill, so if I had a bill magically 4 months later, and then I'm complaining, saying that it just happened, there's a little difference in between that month and 4 months later, guys.
For the first 2 months, I had to wait to get it fixed. And then lately, I didn't know who to talk to. I've talked to everybody. Who do I talk to about this?
I would say you talk to the council, but
Well, they told me that.
I don't know what you
I'm
mean by
here.
everybody, because we've got the same employees now for 2-year minimums are, so we've had the same people here, guys.
But nobody ever told me to come and talk to the council. Like I said, I don't care to pay some of it. I don't feel I'm
The
responsible for
$35
all of it.
reconnect fee, so the system automatically applies that once they are shut off due to non-payment. I don't know if she was trying to fight the bill in the meantime, I'm not the collector. But that's why that 35 gets on there. So if somebody's shut off due to non-payment, you automatically have to pay a reconnect fee. So
Okay, let me ask you a question. So if we ask for the water to be shut off, and then there's a non-payment,
But see, you still haven't paid that high bill.
I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, at what time does the water get shut off after the high bill? If we've already asked for the water to be shut off,
No, you don't, so your shut off could be manually done, but the system doesn't shut you off due to non-payment until the 5th of the next month where you haven't paid your bill.
Does that answer your question?
kind of.
Good.
So like say she calls in,
Okay, so let's come to an agreement. What do I have to pay to get the water back on in this house? I don't feel $659
But
is
that's
fair.
water you guys use. How much
I
did
didn't.
it actually, before the 4 months where they
so
have?
the
How much did
500,
they, yes, oh, Matt,
so from the last time they paid, that first high bill was 598 units of consumption. Apply that to sewer and water, it's a bill of $412.68.
minus the 3 months after.
That's not including anything after that point.
Basically, that's up until the point she called to have it shut off.
That was June's consumption. Now, she still didn't have it shut off until July 16th, so another
Right.
half a month.
So it'd be another half a month on top of that.
Can you give me a rough idea?
I can go figure it. Can you give me a minute?
460? 470, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I mean, her next bill was 97, and I don't know if it's a shut off in the middle of somewhere. Yeah, I couldn't give you.
So 50 on top of that, roughly 100.
Roughly, I mean, if your bill's 100 a month, roughly, half of that.
500 something, which you guys would, ideally, the council would agree upon that.
So if I pay 500, we'll get it.
Give or take a couple dollars, because I don't want you to, but show out the computer, I'd say it'd be 500 or lower, so.
What was due to the point you made the request?
Yes, and I think that's the bit. I mean,
And
if
that's-
you call and have it shut off, then we'll not bill you for anything after that.
And that's exactly what that computes to.
Will that also include a reconnect fee?
What about giving some credit for the sewer because it didn't go through the sewer?
Thank you.
Well, the water went somewhere though, and ionize
Well, I
our,
know, but
ionize our number one cost to the sewer system, so. We're about to pay millions of dollars for, access water, so I think the sewer system,
Yeah, you're gonna pay for it somewhere.
that's a whole other subject, but water, even though it's just water, it still costs the city a whole lot of money. Sewer is very, very expensive, guys. It'd be under 500 or within a couple dollars out
Okay.
with that, so.
I'll give you an exact total tomorrow.
Okay.
Or will there be a reconnect
check the meter when you do turn it back on, like you did when you guys up there? Or make sure it's not leaking somewhere else and then you go through all this thing?
Oh, yeah, well, but taking that out of the ground, I'm definitely gonna check it.
I don't have a bill from maintenance either. He's had it.
Oh, it's in here, it should be.
Thank you, guys. Next up would be business license and Dixon Community Alliance. Somebody seated?
The license and what?
Dixon Community Alliance.
No questions on the motion to approve?
Second.
Wesley Wolfong,
Yes.
Stacy Oakland,
Yes.
Mary Miles,
Yes.
Trevor Long,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0.
Next up would be bill number 2021-012, J&D County and Recovery. Just have to read the headline, correct, Mr. Thomas?
Was it posted?
Yes.
Bill number 2021-012, ordinance ratifying authorized contract to lease the parking lot to J&D County and Recovery. I'll need a motion to approve, right?
Second.
Make a motion for a second
Did you
reading.
have a motion for the first reading?
Oh, okay.
Make a motion for the first reading.
I'll second the first reading.
For some reason, I had the problem, I had the idea in my head.
Ready to go.
Since it's posted, we can approve. Can I read that?
Yes.
Hold on. Wesley Wolfong,
Yes.
Stacy Oakland,
Yes.
Mary Miles,
Yes.
Trevor Long,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0.
Ordinance ratifying and authorizing contract to lease the parking lot to J&D County and Recovery. I'll need a motion for the second reading. Your motion for the second reading? I'll second.
Wesley Wolfong,
Yes.
Stacy Oakland,
Yes.
Mary Miles,
Yes.
Trevor Long,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0.
Ordinance ratifying and authorizing contract to lease the parking lot to J&D County and Recovery.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mary? I'll second.
We all have the same pause.
Wesley Wolfong,
Yes.
Stacy Oakland,
Yes.
Mary Miles,
Yes.
Trevor Long,
Yes.
motion carried 4-0.
Windstream presentation, is there?
Yes, so Mason Skaggs is audio, present Windstream Internet and phone services for the city, just to tell us what he has to offer. So, Mason, go ahead. We can't hear you, Mason.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Well, your audio is cutting out every once in a while, so if you want me to stop, just want you to raise your hand, and I'll see that, and I'll try to hear you. So my name is Mason Skaggs. I am the local account manager for the Windstream services, and I consult our municipalities, our school districts. I've lived in Missouri my whole life, and the critical issues we're addressing tonight have to do with the phones and the internet at the PD and at the City Hall. So they originally contacted me because their internet was going down pretty regularly, and their phone systems went down with them, basically. I proposed something that turned out to be a little bit too high in cost, and so, and Cable America had promised to resolve the issue. So they came back to me and contacted me because the issue had not been resolved. I think it's now 3 or 4 months later. So what happens when the internet goes down is that the PD doesn't have the ability to do auto dispatch to their vehicles. They can't do their mapping, and the city hall is pretty well dead in the water, as I say, without the internet as well. And so that's the internet portion of that. The other issue we're addressing is for their voice, for their phones. And right now it's just pretty inflexible, hard to manage their call flow, and it's unreliable as well, so it goes down. Now, I'll share my screen. I think my sharing is disabled. I was going to share the proposal, but Miranda, I think my ability to share the screen is down. Do you guys have the proposal in front of you?
No, I can print it. Did you send it to my email?
The audio is cut out, so I don't know what was said.
Did you send it to my email, Mason?
I still can't hear it. Okay. I know you all have a busy night, so I thought I would just come here and be a big head that's frozen for you, kind of frees up some time. I promise I'll get it over with.
Mason, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes, sir. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk through, I'll give it to you verbally. I'm going to email it to Miranda right now. And so, can you guys hear me okay still? Good. Okay. Miranda, that's all the way to you. So the solution that we're going to put in place for the internet at the police department and the city hall, right now they have a shared connection for internet, so they're basically sharing a community pool of bandwidth with whoever else is on that same network. So the speed it fluctuates from time to time, and there's no guaranteed uptime like what we're able to deliver. So what we're going to put in place is we're proposing a dedicated fiber connection that's a private fiber line that runs directly to the PD, one to the PD, and one to the city hall. Right now they're sharing one, so when one goes down, the other goes down. And it basically renders them incapable to function. So we're proposing a dedicated fiber connection. It'll be 99.99% uptime, so that thing is not going down, but even if it did, like if somebody cut through the line with a backhoe or something, as sometimes happens in rural Missouri, we have a 4G data backup that will kick on, even if it's cut through, that 4G data backup will kick on within 15, 30 seconds and will keep their phones up and running, their internet up and running, and until we're able to repair that. So that's what we're putting in place for the internet. There's going to be 2 connections. Miranda, I'm sending this off to you right now. And then for the voice for the phones, we're going to put together, it's called Office Suite Unified Communication System. It's what we have in place with all of our police departments, our municipalities, for anybody who is heavily reliant on the internet or phones. It just gives them the ability to manage their call flow, it gives them remote working ability so that they can manage their features and their call flow from home or from a remote location. Trying to keep things simple, so it's just going to make it a lot more easy to manage and that kind of thing. And as for numbers, Miranda, you should be receiving that sometime now. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer if there are any that on the forefront of your minds.
So is this still going to be an internet-based phone system?
It is going to be a cloud-based phone system, yeah. That's the most easy to manage fiber phone system. So to mitigate the chance of it going down, we're going to have a backup, like a 4G data backup, and then the dedicated connection as well. So that'll be 99.9999% uptime. In the 0.0001 chance it goes down, it's got a managed router, so we're able to see any issues that go that are facing the network 24/7. So we're able to relieve those issues before they reach the connection.
I think there was a question about the mules compliance, or the PD uses a mules system, is that what it is?
Yeah, it should run the same though.
It should be the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they had a
Run
question
the same,
about
yeah.
which way you could do that.
Yes, I didn't mean to interrupt, I'm sorry, I can't hear all the things that are happening, but I did reach out to the state of Missouri to make sure on meals, and they said we're good to go there. And regarding installation, installation will be free. Everything is set up. We have the fiber not even a couple blocks away from where you are right now. So installation will be free. I've put together 3 important things for you to see on the proposal. The little table you see on the bottom right that has everything listed out, that's just itemized proposal. That's everything that's in the monthly cost. You'll also see the equipment. We're updating the equipment. And then there's 60-month pricing, there's 36-month pricing, and then there's 12-month pricing. What we're proposing, what we do for other municipalities to work with you all is we're going to give the 60-month pricing, so it'll be 60-month term, and we're going to add in an addendum that allows you to re-contract or to choose a different provider every 12 months, or if there is ever any unsatisfaction or any downturn in revenue. Basically, we want to give you as many loopholes as possible.
What are we currently paying right now?
Currently, $668.66 a month.
So they're double. And that's what they 5-year contract first.
No, he's saying that we could treat it as a one-year contract. He would give us the 5-year contract pricing.
The 5-year period.
It is a one force.
I guess it doesn't seem like we have issues that often anymore, so if we're still
We
done.
don't here at City Hall. I know TJ said he's on the call, but, actually,
$600
they've been our months down in a long time, so I don't know.
He says he has a big issue with his son-in-law.
$72 million for the year. We spent, do you guys have questions or concerns?
One thing we don't have is on his proposal is a phone that we can use if all electricity goes out and everything goes down.
That's
And,
true.
you know,
Can't we, do we not
Back
have
up.
contracts on here? Can't we just go buy a phone, like a
So
swell?
then you have to have, it's,
Voice over IP.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do we not direct it on the phone?
One thing to mention as well, this is a proposal for both the City Hall and the Police Department to get dedicated fiber. We can keep them on the same one, and it will be, we can combine like they are right now, and it'll still be a lot more reliable because of the 4G data backup, and our central office is right down the street, so the dedicated fiber is running right up the street, basically. So if you didn't want to do 2 different connections, you may.
I mean, that's our, can you hear me, Mason?
Yeah, I hear you, sir.
So I think that's our main concern is, roughly right now we're paying $600 and you guys are double that. So from a financial standpoint, I don't know if it makes sense. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you can make it make sense, I mean,
Wasn't there some anecdotal thing though, right around here, that they couldn't be shared for the police and
we
city
can't
hall?
only have separate files. That was always a good. So we have separate files. Because we're not sure.
Right. And so it is apples to oranges as far as shared to dedicated, but if it's out of budget to do 2 dedicated connections, we can narrow it down to just one. We could even up the speed on just one. But you all let me know where you need to be and what you want to do with this. It's pretty malleable. I've submitted the financial for the lowest pricing because we get automatic base pricing to our municipalities. But however we want to finagle this, we can.
So what kind of price differences are we talking if it was a shared instead of two individual dedicateds?
So a shared connection is what most residents would have or just regular consumers. And so you can get one of those for like $102 or like $98. But you're going to be dealing with the same problems that you are right now. You know, if you're going to share that connection.
What was it you said you could offer that would be more affordable for us?
Oh, so I see what you meant now. To share a dedicated connection. So it'd still be dedicated fiber. It would just be run from to the police department and city hall at once. So that would be, if we subtract the 323 from that you would have your price point there.
So it's still 50% higher.
Yeah, you gotta remember too,
That's leasing funds to what he has.
would it be the same phone numbers, Mason?
It would, yeah.
So same phone numbers, there's a bit, the other benefit is you go to Give America pays us a franchise fee every month. Midstream does not, so.
Okay, that to me is a big one. It's kind of like, actually, one of the competitors has a business license and one doesn't. Which one would we choose?
Business license, so.
And with the addendum, we're counting on you all being totally satisfied with the solution. If you're not, we just will switch you back to what you had in the first place. And we try to make it where you don't have, we want to earn your trust. We want to win trust with the community especially. So, yeah.
Any more questions? Thank you, Mason. We appreciate your time.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You all have a great night.
You too. I mean, you can get the numbers on that, and I don't know if it makes sense.
The franchise fee is about $1,000 every quarter that we get, $300 a month.
But we're still getting something versus Windstream that refuses.
Yeah.
So to me, that's all.
You know.
You guys got any questions on that?
Is there other options besides those two?
So can we start with dedicated lines? Start with a couple of years.
So originally, when we set up all of this, that's what the IT guys set up, tried to do, and they promised that, and then they never came through with it. So we can try to have somebody else reach out to him and see.
You're saying cable.
With the dedicated lines.
They were supposed to do two dedicated,
And they
and
never
they
did.
just haven't.
And I think you would talk to somebody over there for that once.
I'm gonna be honest, though, like, when I'm here, we don't have issues anymore. Ever since they
We
fixed
don't.
our
Not on our
site,
side.
I'm gonna be more prone if they have an internet issue with something on that side with their firewalls versus the actual internet, because that was always the fight, was the firewall was fighting the internet and coming and outgoing. And that's why when they did the repairs on ours, that fixed our, like, we don't have phone issues anymore.
We used to have people would call and then you could hear them.
Yeah, for like a month after we got in here, we were having a lot of issues, but I
I used to
think
watch.
the IT
AT&T,
guys are
every
done.
dollar ID off the city's phone show up as spam.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
I got a lot of
Yeah.
Okay. Dumpsters, trash trucks, when you have a new workshop. Let's get this over with.
Hey, slow down, don't say that. Just say we got to get up.
Can we do it next week sometime? What do you guys want to do?
Just crazy this week.
Yeah. Can we do, what day works best for you guys?
Next week.
What do you think, every what day? You guys are all welcome for that. Next up would be the clerk update.
Mine was just the, license that we moved up, Saturday, so.
Oh, it was on there already? This is like,
But it wasn't, it was a,
I thought that was something else. I don't know, something different.
cell tower permit.
Now, the new, like, renewal for business license is what, the first of
You guys have already sent most of that up, correct?
Yeah, we sent all on November, anybody had a license last year.
for renewal?
If there's any new businesses that you guys know, we can send them out, but
Just remember, if you're using a business in general, you get something fixed at your house, and they don't have a business license, do not be coming in here complaining about your streets and everything else, because money ends up in here. I know, like, literally, most of the people that complain, I drove by their house, and they're the ones that have Joe Smoke from working. That's a whole other. I have a business license, Trevor has a business license, we all have business license, so keep it clear and concise. You need to bring an update?
We have, I think our kickoff meeting tomorrow with Archer and Elgin to get the plan in place to start this sewer project that we will get to deal with for the next few years. So, I don't know if you guys saw the paper, but we did manage to get 2 grants to help with this project. So, great for everyone who put a lot of time and effort on that. Good job, everybody.
she was the main one, so she can pat herself on that.
But this is the thing, you gotta remember, what, 4 years ago, they said, oh, we can't get grants, we can't get this, we can't get this, and surprise, surprise, here we are. So I think it's awesome. Moving forward.
And Vietnam was very good to work with on this.
Excellent.
Yeah, they were.
So,
We gave
I
them
think all the way around, like, it's been nothing but a good process. Like, we haven't had no issues at all. I think it is what you make out of it. That's life. Maintenance update, Daniel?
Yes. So in front of the alderman up there, you will see 2 proposals for 2 different side-by-sides.
That was the one.
Now, they're both, one's from, the dark one, you can barely see, that's just because I don't know why, that's the way, when we printed it off, that's the way it came out. And the other one is from Jim Canary out of Union, Missouri. One's out of Rollins, one's out of Union. The Stallmans can get us a 500 with a snow plow, everything enclosed. I know you guys don't like it, but he said he's been selling the crap out of them with the snow plow and will actually do the job. He can have it in 60 days. And the price on it is $14,500. That's a 2022 model. He's been out with family emergency for the last couple of weeks, so he didn't give me a quote back on the 570. But Jim Canary did, and Jim Canary says he can get us a 570, but it'll be July of next year. And the total price on it is almost 16 grand. That's a snow plow and everything.
I mean, how much is it minus the snow plow? I'm gonna tell you right now, a snow plow on a side-by-side is way more than you see.
On that Jim Canary thing, it gives you a breakdown of all the parts, how much it's gonna cost for each piece. And the plow itself was just,
436, 439.
yeah, that was actually the cheapest part of the thing.
I mean, I know honestly, you're not going to be able to, but you do maybe a sidewalk if you have like this.
Yeah, it'd be,
I mean, working hard is to do a sidewalk. I mean, they just.
which the flatbed's got a plow on it, right?
Yes,
Okay. So
but you guys asked for plows and everything else, and I was just giving you all the options here. Somebody asked for one, so that's why I was getting with a plow. I mean, that's the reason I even asked.
Multiple options, but I meant frames.
John Deere gave us one, $21,000. And I didn't even print that one off.
Is that his plow?
That's what they plow.
What is their plow side?
That green paint costs all that.
Yes, it does. But their plows with the John Deere's were Westerns. So they actually was hydraulic. that was just crazy.
I don't think personally that somebody, I don't think you need snowplow on it.
I think we could buy a blade for a skid steer for less than
I
that.
would much rather you buy a load for skids to do that. That's
Well,
my-
yeah, I mean, if we do that, we just knock that off that price. But if you get it enclosed, we're looking at probably with the 500 series, you're just looking at around 13,500 to 14,000. That's with the windshield, doors, everything. But this all comes off in the summertime, it's all poppable. It all removes.
I wouldn't want it on there. Most, if I was reading meters, I wouldn't want it on there in the wintertime.
Correct, but like I said, Jim Canary said if you want to go with the bigger one, you can go with the bigger one, but you won't get, even without a snowplow, you still won't get it until next year. Because they're that far behind.
It's that plastic. So what's our price?
Well, if you get rid of the plow, it's 14.
That's that's the bigger.
And that's without the winch.
That's one we couldn't have to July.
Yeah, this is the one.
This one, we don't know how much they charge for the plow, so. What's the figure? What's the
14,197.
What is the cabling, the 66-inch poly Jeep Pro?
That's the blade.
It looks, I think
Well,
those.
the one right above it's the.
Frame.
Oh,
I think
right,
we're going
I got
to,
you.
so we're looking at like $800.
I don't have any of this
It's
there.
$1,400. Roughly $1,400, so we could take, be 13 roughly for the one from Stallman. That's 500 without the stuff like that.
Yeah, because he doesn't, because he didn't give me a breakdown on his.
That's software. I got everybody cheaper than small help.
Been asking all year. Yeah, this is a monthly.
No, I didn't ask for nothing last month, hang on.
Yeah, I don't think the winch is necessary. You should use it when you get hung up. So that's like $1,500 golf.
Yeah, so Jim Trainer can get you one in 60 days, right?
No.
No, it's
You
just
don't
done
hear it.
with
It's all in
It's
68.
560 days.
So we took
Is that
1,500.
No, it's a 5.7.
That's what I said, you take about $1,500 off the
Only
solid,
about
right?
13.
They only make the 800 no more, Mike, they went from 5 to 570 to 1,000. They don't even make the ones in between anymore. They discontinued those.
And that's a Honda from Stallman.
No, it's a Polaris. You don't want a Honda. I couldn't, that's still around 20 grand. But these are still the cheaper options. The mule was the cheapest, but you can't even close a mule. They just won't, the frame just will not allow you to fully enclose a mule. It still has
Yeah, but
gaps.
these enclosed, I mean, really, what in the world do you need an enclosed mule for?
I have no idea. You guys, that's for close for winter.
For safety purposes, and insurance.
Yeah, cool would
If we're
be,
using to read meters instead of a car.
Leave it open, the whole point of it is so you jump in and out.
Yeah.
It's like, you go to steer very much, what do? You take the dang door off of it if you're not gonna get out of it.
Now, if you want to go back to the mule, that's $9,500.
There should be two other regulators.
I'm saying go back.
Or maybe you drop and jack
I can go back to the mule for $9,500 and I can add a windshield if you guys want a windshield. That's another $250.
But they'll have a roof, you need a roof.
Yeah, the roof came with, that was the 90,
I would do a roof. I mean, I would be willing.
Yeah, I think radio stuff, because it is a.
that was the 90.
You can have one of those. I mean, I'm all for clothes on the film.
not all.
They should never be driving fast enough to where it goes.
Which one has the better warranty? That's like.
The mule has the 5-year or 3-year warranty, everything else only got a year.
Mules, $4 grand cheaper too.
Right, but that makes me feel.
I know. Windshield for $250.
back looking for golf carts, but some of the brand new golf carts is almost as much as the mule.
I mean, so, the whole thing about this, I feel like this is gonna be really handy, like we have a water leak out in somebody's yard. And
No,
so-
I just wanted it for to go read meters, that's all I wanted it
I
for.
know, but then why all the extra stuff?
Because you guys asked me to give you more options and give you more stuff.
I said all the different, right? Somebody's yard to fix a water leak, to get, so you drive it there.
Can we get a motion?
This is gonna be real fast.
Can I get a
Do we have enough money for the mule?
Yes,
Are we sure?
yes.
Can I get a windshield or just?
Wait, okay.
Was it a
Is the mule two?
Two-wheel drive mule. Players, starts with four-wheel drive.
That's why it's much cheaper.
Yes. But what we drive now is only two-wheel drive.
I'm like, what?
Are they satisfied with that?
Did it start not last week?
No, I didn't get that stuff last
Oh, I think from the city standpoint, the mule makes sense. It's 3-year warranty. Basically what you have now in the newer version, and what you have now is done well for you.
Yes.
What's the price on the mule?
96.
And that's what the windshield and the,
No.
I mean, and it's lid.
That was just the roof.
Okay, hold on. Mule, the mule is $69.50.
Okay, it's a lot cheaper.
A lot, yeah.
How is the motor on it? What is it?
It's a 401 cc.
That's plenty. Yeah,
That's
that's
what I
right.
got for 200.
You're gonna drive around with all the
We asked for more options,
So, yeah.
and we got a lot.
You got extra.
Just
Yeah.
I would
Just get like
Yeah.
Just with the options and everything, if the price increase can be $8,000, that's pretty cool.
Yes, I make a motion to approve $8,000, up to $8,000 for the mule, for the utility department.
I'll second that.
Amy, you owe us.
Leslie Wilson,
Yes.
Stacy Yoder,
Yes.
Trevor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0. Merry Christmas Day.
There you go. One more thing, guys.
He's asked us for 6 months straight.
He's on the phone.
Hey, more than that.
Tell us how you roll on.
Yes, I will get a bottle of that and just deliver. I do have some good news. We did concrete a street in town over in front of, what's the name of the daycare?
It's on Lane.
Lane Street. We did 100 long, 22 foot wide.
It looks great.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, a bunch of compliments on a good job, Amy. Thank you, seriously.
Yeah, and can we sell the Chevy dump truck now? Since we got a Ford dump truck? Nobody wants to drive the Chevy.
What else do you have down there? Did you have something else we're gonna get rid of?
It was like a tractor or something, wasn't it?
We got a tractor.
We got rid of that.
Do you have anything else down there we need to get rid of?
No, unless we're gonna get rid of the Crown Vic.
You also place in the ground.
Can I get a motion to putting it up for bid, our normal 2 weeks? The Chevy dump truck?
I'll make a motion to put the Chevy dump truck up for bid in the pilot for 2 weeks. And anywhere else we need to.
I'll second.
Leslie Wilson,
Yes.
Stacy Yoder,
Yes.
Mary Wild,
Yes.
Trevor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0.
Thank you guys. Just 2 things.
Please update. I can try to give a little bit of presentation for him, because I have a little knowledge. He's wanting, you should have 2 quotes. So let's back this up so we're all clear. We put up for a bid the roof on the police department. We got 0 bids. After our chief reached out to people, he got a bid for $13,000, it looks like, for the roof.
there's just a couple things I was thinking of as you're looking over it. So, pipe boots is a must. I know he was talking about pipe removal, because there was a stack that wasn't being used. Yeah, right, so if, I mean, we'd have to know about charging that, because this is,
I told them when I talked to him that that would have to be, so I don't know if he conveyed that to me.
I didn't see it in the
Yeah.
list. And then basically pipe removal and pipe boots are the only thing. I did see the purlins, which is an absolute must. The removal of the metal on the backside, because all that flashing needs to be replaced.
And this includes painting that building too, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and then they threw in also the gutters on here, which that's about 448 square total. But that's with gutters and everything, that's pretty good.
I thought it was, so I.
I mean, with everything, if they're gonna remove it without an upcharge.
What's so good smell?
Yeah.
It's keep it up for a year.
Wait just a little bit.
I mean, this is the only bid we've received.
Yes, pretty much. Let's try to find
What kind of
roof is it over there?
Shingle now, it'd be metal like this building.
And that's also not a removal, that's an overlay. But it's single layer, so, I mean, you can do it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with single layer to overlay, as long as you have purlins, you can stick it straight on shingles.
So the purlins are the shingles.
Have to do that.
Yeah.
That's a 100% must.
We can deal with it, well, it doesn't bother me one way or another, as long as you
We're
get
not
it
gonna
before.
do this one.
Yeah, I really want to have another meeting in 2 weeks.
2 months.
You guys just have to make it send it to the workshop.
Oh, we love meetings right here.
We couldn't hear what you were saying. You want another bid, is that what you want? No?
Trevor would like to see if we can reach out and get more bids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have somebody in mind? Nobody responded.
Yeah, and you put it out for bid,
Nobody responded.
Yeah, all the tests. There's not a lot of roofing companies around here. Most people I know end up reaching at least 11 members.
We can reach out to a couple different companies tomorrow and see if we have any better luck, and maybe Leslie can help us with this too. So fine,
Yeah.
take a look.
Now, the interior work, did you look at the second page?
Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
just the end of this.
That's second page, interior.
Yeah, page 2, there's the original.
Yes. Yes, for like, so.
So there's really no specifications whether this is labor and material? Oh, yeah, total.
It doesn't.
Yeah, material, labor, material, okay.
Yes.
I see they got problems with it. And it's already roofed or something.
That's true. Last year. Maybe you guys can help too, if you know anybody that'd be willing to put a bid in. Maybe not as well.
Who did you get?
Yeah, mechanical.
McElhaney.
that's not close.
I don't know, where's this guy from?
I know he does some work around here, but I don't know him personally at all.
You check with Chris Davis, he got our roof.
Yeah, with Chris Davis. I didn't try to tell him Chris Davis, is this right now?
He's
Yeah.
a big year and a half now.
All right. Multi-family, and I guess we're talking about water sewer increase, so are we all familiar with what this is? So basically what it would do is like, so there's certain properties in town that have like, let's say they have 40 apartments, and this is just So my proposal is that we come up with an ordinance, and we kind of mirrored this ordinance off of other cities, is that they would charge them by unit. So I guess our question here is, what's a fair charge? Just to give you guys an idea, and I don't say names out loud, but like for one that has meters at every location, on average, you're paying $81. So every apartment, they're paying $81. Then if you go to the same one that doesn't, about $10, $12. So, from a business standpoint, somebody's coming out way ahead and the other business is not. So it's just,
Especially if they're charging them the minimum.
yes.
rate.
Right.
Revenue, the city's not collecting revenue, right? At the end of the day, the city's losing out on, I'm guessing $4,000 a month. That's what I'm guessing. Is that what I came up with earlier?
Close.
So $50,000 a year, so. I'm sure it's not the thing that make everybody happy, but the same token, it's one of those things that has to be firm, very consistent across the board.
That's what it needs to be,
Be firm, very,
consistent.
and I can't have, I'll use Barb for example, she's not part of this at all, but I can't have Barb paying $20 a month for water, and then you're paying $80 a month. You guys, it's not fair, like, you know, one person that's losing money,
You can't get a meter for every apartment,
you're trying to retrofit that Barb, you're talking meter trouble, kind of talking about this.
but if you charge them, I mean, they could have empty apartments.
They could, so we have to be very foot-like, we have to work with those, landlords. I understand, but if you
That
try
would be
to,
hard to,
it's going to be, but
Are there several building units? Could you put meters on buildings rather than?
no, not the particular ones, because you're trying to retrofit some of those 9 years ago, you're talking, I don't know, $60,000 to do it themselves, $100,000 to require hiring somebody to do it. I mean, that's why these other cities that came up with this is just to retrofit it, put it in action, so we've talked about this for
is
years.
RSU on individual meters,
Yes, they are.
but
I don't know the details.
Jaden isn't.
There's a couple in town.
There's a couple in
There's
town.
actually a lot of,
Frisco isn't.
Frisco is.
that have multiple units on one meter.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not very US occasion.
No, it's
Because
not.
you can't be competitive with her, it's firm, very consistent, so.
But I don't think, it would take a person to go over there and see who's living in the apartments. If they're all rented, you're gonna leave it up.
I think it has to be a fair rate, because so the way, and we actually, I think we used, our mock ordinance that we potentially mirror was from the city of Eureka, but they basically did, every 3 months or so, they went around and did basically a little call, and census would be the better word, yes, and that's how they based it off of. So there's going to be times you come out ahead and times you don't come out ahead, so it's one of those things, so we have to make it a number at the same token that's fair for everybody, but what's your guys' thoughts on that?
Necessary.
Yeah, I feel like it needs to happen because if I was paying $80 a week and someone was paying 10, I found out I'd be upset.
We're going to have some complaints on this, I'll just be clear, there's going to be backlash on this, so don't think there won't be, because somebody's going to be upset because
There's a significant difference.
That's kind of their.
So you're only talking about one apartment?
No, there's very
There's
large.
several.
There's
So there's more than one.
There's more than one.
Well, I know that some of them
Three
already
guys.
have individual meters.
Do what? And that's exactly why, that's why we would have to do this, what I call.
There's more than one that do not.
Yes.
So
Three that I think was
I just.
there are some that do, but there are some that don't.
And I
More
think
than
I
one.
figured it up at $70 a unit, and I think that's how I came up with $4,000 a month for this, roughly.
I think we have a meeting.
$70, to me, $70 a unit is fair for the occupied units. I think that's what Barb's getting at. When they've got a big thing and some of them are empty, because you don't have the ability without a meter to send a bill to every tenant. So it's not the tenants who pay. You're not charging apartment 103 $70. You're charging the landlord $70 times the number of units.
That's right.
what,
the landlord get one bill.
so landlord's gonna get one
So
$3,000 bill a month versus each, so you're talking $70 a unit, that's one thing. But really what you're talking about is $3,000 bill to one person, or one entity, whoever that is. So when you're charging that bill for unoccupied units is where
Yeah.
what I've seen when I looked into drafting the ordinance for you guys to do this, is there's a few different ways different cities handle it. One is require the landlord to file some type of certificates of occupancy for however many there are, and set up a penalty if he does not do that. If you go knock on the door and Mike's sitting there running water, washing his hands, living there, obviously, there's a fine for contempt for the landlord for not doing that. The other ways I've seen it is they put the burden on the tenant. Other ways I've seen it is they set a different rate rather than the average rate that a homeowner pays or whatever. They set a surcharge per unit, or they do a reduced rate that they charge every unit regardless of occupancy. So I mean, there's kind of, cities are handling this a lot of different ways, and it's
it'd be tough to enforce, because I don't know who or what department would have enough manpower to see what apartments are occupied or not, because especially if they're elderly or whatever, it's not like they go outside the water or whatever.
well,
Well, then it's something.
Well, they just do the landlord, if the landlord can't handle it with his tenants.
Well,
I think you have to put it, in my opinion, the burden on the landlord very differently, because if you try to make it where the city's responsibility, where I should get it done most times, I think you're going to do, I think if the burden's on the landlord.
Right, but I think the issue is like the
The issue
landlord
is-
saying it's vacant if it's not.
Oh, we're gonna have that issue.
emergencies won't take
Yeah.
place at individual electric meters.
Yes.
Yes.
Some of them do, yeah.
I wonder if we could have a cooperative agreement with the electric company to tell us if there's a line.
What electricity's on.
They need a base water bill too. I wonder if we could do that.
Unless they all run off one meter, just like
No,
they're doing.
They do,
They
they
know.
have judge, I don't know.
I'm just throwing ideas out.
If that's the case, that would be, if the water, because they have to have water. So if the electricity's on and water comes on, they don't know how many tenants are there.
We can probably work that out.
We need more gas, so let's sit down with them. I mean, it's one more idea. I mean, certain ways I'm talking about doing this that other cities have dealt with, they don't need or care whether or not they're occupied, I guess is where it's at.
I would like us to try to get this done before we update water rates and rates too, so if we can come up maybe, I don't know.
Draft whatever you want, but y'all gotta set the rates. I mean, the other issue
You
you
want to
got
check
is
that
your
out?
rates all automatically go up 5%.
Let's see, maybe Jeff can come bring us stuff.
Maybe we can work that into our trash workshop too, with trash slash.
So what are water rates for?
I think,
Do it.
What are water rates for?
Good question. I hope, and we'll talk about this a little bit at the workshop, I hope water rates don't go up this year. Now, we'll have, I know,
They go up unless you do something.
I know.
yeah,
We will have to do something. I would like to see sewer rates continue to rise because sewer costs us much more to clean, treat, sorry, Trevor. Treat than water does, so I think we're at a good point with our water right now. My only exception would be is what I preached about a year ago, and I'll continue to preach: if you live inside city limits and you're receiving all the benefits of being in the city, I think their rates will increase drastically, so that's why I look for it. So no water increase, sewer increase, it should be on par with what it's been, so it'll be minimal. But you gotta remember, we're not spending, how much was our estimate on sewer project?
Millions.
4.5
Yeah.
million.
So,
Brace yourselves.
More a small question for you.
Yes.
It's kind of,
Are we annexed or are we not annexed?
yeah, because I'm getting it from,
Is our house and our road annexed, or just our road annexed, or, I've heard so many
other
different
ones,
things.
they're saying the house is county and the road's city. And you're saying that the roads are county and the house is city. That's coming from the county over here.
What's your,
They were in it.
so this is what we read to once
The
ago.
house, so the house is city and the road's county.
gonna patrol them regardless, to be honest.
But if we get called, that county can be working on it, correct?
There's a few addresses over there that are still,
Hey, one conversation, please. We got too many going on. Sorry.
there are a few addresses over there that even throughout all of this, that we were told were still county. We've been treating all the ones that we were told that were going to be annexed as city. Mostly because it takes county forever to get up here, so we just wanted to do the best we could to get out that way.
But you have a
They
mutual
were
agreement.
The houses were annexed.
Yeah.
This is what was annexed. The sheriff may be operating under old data in his car or something, but I mean, the houses were annexed.
Which they have jurisdiction to anyway, but, I mean, legally they can patrol wherever, but it is city, right?
Our public home.
Right, exactly.
I didn't have to control it, I'm enjoying it. It doesn't bother me a bit, I just go up and all over my head.
Yes, you're not in the next.
Are we still turning our roads, our street names to get fixed?
Your street names.
Yeah, our, gives study the doors.
Yes, if you have streets to be fixed,
Oh,
turn it into us, yes, and we'll put them
I'm
on.
getting started replacing oil joints, tires, and that's going not even 3 miles an hour up the road.
Are you working on other properties that are really within the city but not in the
Yes,
city?
we've sent out 20, how many letters did you send out? 21 letters to
Does
receive
that
back.
include the ones over there on 7th and 8th?
Any of them that are inside the city square, so ideally what it says, basically, if it's, correct me if I'm wrong here, yeah, but ideally we're wanting to make sure that all the square can be turned. So when we turn it over to the voters, because we're gonna have some that will annex in, then when we turn it over to the voters, it clearly states in there that if they're inside the city limits,
Within
that
our boundary, yes. And that means within our boundary.
To answer your question, there were none on 7th and 8th Street.
That's what I thought, and that's the biggest problem area for crime, falls over there on 7th and 8th, north of fires. And none of those have been approached
And
into the city.
It's hindering the fire trucks from coming in.
Well, it's kind of the outside of the map. It's outside of that boundary. Yeah,
I think they were sending letters to the ones that are inside.
within the boundary.
But half
They're
of,
kind of in the middle of the city.
half of,
we'll work on those up, Barb. I promise you, we'll send those out this week.
The map we got was a little hard to tell about 7th and 8th Street, so we went with what we knew exactly was in the city, but individual properties were not. So that's how we did it. And we know we're not
but
finished.
none of those 21 are on 7th or 8th.
No.
It's kind of on that.
We sent out letters asking a lot of people to voluntarily annex like you did for all these little kind of checkerboard squares that are within the geographical outer boundaries of the city. And it's my understanding that the city's gonna instruct me to draft stuff and an ordinance probably for the January meeting to start involuntary annexation of the ones that don't want to do it. And then that'll hopefully make it about April.
And I don't think that'll be an issue getting it approved, so I think we should be good.
I just want to make sure it's.
I promise you, Barb, those will be on. You have my
That they
I
are.
don't like to let anything I have not.
I did not know that, so you know, I didn't know that. I sent those out too, so. I didn't actually have part of that. Yes, Mr. Baker.
Couple things. On the letter I received for voluntary annexation, it recorded a section of the statute as non-existent.
The wrong one, yeah.
There's no section 75.
That was a typo.
Typo, okay.
It's 71.
Well, send me a new one. if you
Just so
want.
we're all clear, Mr. Baker is one of the people that receives all the benefits of the city, lives inside city limits, but refuses.
I do not live within the city limits. I live on the edge of the city
10th Street.
But the
He lives in
city-
limits.
limit.
Within the
You have to
boundaries,
go grab
the
that.
limits.
Look at the map. I've got the map.
Totally.
You've got the map in there.
But you receive all the benefits, they snow plow in front of your road, correct? They salt in front of your road, they pave in front of your road, they fix all the streets in front of your
Mr. Baker, what you're telling everybody right now, just so you know, is a wholehearted lie, because we do snow your road, we do repair your road, and the other source. So you're one of the people, as you come here, you're receiving all the benefits of the city, but you're not paying taxes to the city, correct?
No, I pay county taxes.
Okay. But you live inside city limits.
But what's the city line?
But you live inside city limits.
Within the boundaries, yes. Yeah.
I'll show anybody who wants to see where Mr. Baker lives, which is clearly inside city limits, since he's telling me which is a lot. Tom? No, pays no city taxes, but receives all the benefits of it. So that's a huge issue there. Could you imagine living inside city limits? Somebody snow plowing for you, repairing all the streets for you, and you're not paying anything to the city? Be nice, right?
Well, his neighbor has to pay city and county, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem with a lot of people in the city here.
We live in the city, I think, so.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Make a motion to go into closed. Or I'll make a motion to go into closed, sorry.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll
Do we
second.
have that back?
I'll second.
Yeah.
Maybe you can post it up